It's us. Okay. Everybody say hey! That was lame, guys. That was.
I thought it was going to be followed up.
You were live. Okay, we're going in. Bye. Here, why don't you take it in and I'll go check the screen, okay? You know where it is? That center? It's official. So we'll lower it down so it's not. So there you go. And just when they leave, they're coming out the center. So you will just maybe just set it up so they can like. Yeah. So that's good. And that should be all right. Just I'll be right over there. So, but if you want to, I can be quiet.
and welcome. Would you please stand as our RHS Jazz Choir, under the direction of Mr. Robert Meek, sings our national anthem. Seniors, you may join. Thank you, choir. My name is Kristen Palmer, and as the high school principal, I would like to welcome you to the 106th Annual Commencement Exercises of Ridgefield High School. Listed in your program are the names of the class of 2018. 158 of these students are here tonight to receive their diplomas for meeting the state and local graduation requirements. I know that each of the graduates sitting before us tonight did not do this alone. I want to thank Dr. McCann and our district office staff, along with our school board of directors, for all of the behind-the-scenes work you have done to support these students. Now, graduates, I think you would agree that this faculty and staff is one of the most caring and compassionate, but they have also been relentless in their pursuit to challenge your thinking, teach you new things, and push you to better yourselves. They have supported you through the good times and the tough times. And your success here tonight is also their success. Let's not forget the most important people here tonight to celebrate you. Your parents, guardians, and family members who have supported you tirelessly over the past 13 years. Parents, thank you for your help and support at home, as well as entrusting us with your kids each day. You have done a great job raising them, as evidenced by their character and actions here at RHS on a daily basis. Okay, class of 2018, we are going to talk a lot about you tonight, but I want to take a moment to thank you for making my first year at RHS a great year. You welcomed me with open arms and showed me the Sputter way. At the beginning of the year, I was finding my way and learning names, not really knowing who was in which grade until homecoming. And then there you were, in togas. And I knew who my seniors were from that point on. I was surprised, I'm not gonna lie. As individuals, you are remarkable. Together as a group, you are a force. You have gotten it done in the classroom, on the field, the court, the stage, the lanes. Edit slowly? Okay. And collectively, you have earned $2.4 million in scholarship money to take you even further. Tonight, we are here to celebrate you. But first, I would like to invite all past RHS graduates to please stand. Thank you for helping me recognize these people who symbolize our continued tradition of excellence in education and character. Thank you. Soon, nearly 160 other RHS graduates will join your ranks. At this time, I would like to introduce the guests we have on stage tonight, starting with the Ridgefield School District Board members. Emily Encliffe. Becky Greenwald. Scott Gullickson. Stephen Radosevich. And Joe Vance. Superintendent Dr. Nathan McCann. Assistant Principal Alan Andringa. And our commencement speaker and RHS teacher, Miss Kathy Falk. Please welcome our senior ASB president for the class of 2018, Mr. Kevin Sanchez.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to see friends, family, teachers, and community members here to support us on this very big day. Today is very bittersweet. For some of us, school will be over with forever. But for others, we will be fortunate enough to continue our schooling in college and rack up student debt. High school hasn't been an easy ride. In today's day and age, there's plenty of distractions that make studying very difficult for us. Cell phones, people that you may be crushing on, Mr. Vice's shiny head. We're talking about the weather in Mr. Ware's class. In all seriousness, school hasn't been a cakewalk, especially when most of us are doing our homework 15 minutes before it's due, finishing up the paper and essay the night before it's due, then complain that we didn't get enough time. Or those moments when we had group projects and you did your partner's work, and your other partner's work, and your other partner's work. Sorry, teachers, for making your job a little harder. The truth is, we're all here, aren't we? Compared to when we walked in as goofy freshmen who didn't know what we wanted from life, we leave as young adults, not knowing what we want from life. That being said, I do wholeheartedly believe that we can all be successful. Now, I'm not saying everyone in this room is going to change the world or be the next Bill Gates, but looking at everyone and how hard we've worked, there's not a doubt in my mind that we can't all be successful in our own regard. I mean, amongst our midst, we have tremendous athletes, others who have killed it in theater and are going to pursue their passion, aspiring artists, shout out G. Swinson and Max Decker, others who will join the workforce and start work right away, those who have joined the military and will put their lives on the line if called for. Then, there are peers who have solely dedicated themselves to their studies and are going to rocket moving forward in life with the determination that they have shown here in school. We are incredible people, and we are all like fine wine. We only get better with age. That being said, let's not forget the moments that we have all garnered while we were in high school. We won TOGA this year. Not one but 2 Star Wars movies have been released. And Ross Morris got a tattoo. Jokes aside, I will miss everyone that I have met. We're all bright people with loads of potential. I really do believe that. Now, I read this quote on Reddit the other day that I'd like to share with you to get some inspiration. You can easily judge the character of a man by how he treats those who have nothing. I think that we can learn a lot from this. Coming to Ridgefield, we were all little buds of fruit, and now we are blossoming. We were nothing, and as we move up in the world, we will again start at the bottom of the ladder, but we will always be able to climb it. I met most of you in the 5th grade, and more of you as we met in middle school, and so on. I'm going to miss the people who I've created friendships with, and those who I occasionally talk to in the hallways. I don't think that we should look back at this moment and be happy that we are leaving, but be happy that we have been here. As we sit here in our final moments, please, will the class of 2018 help me by concluding this speech and have one last final tune? Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. I didn't get it at first. I get it now. Before we present our honor graduates and the class of 2018, we would like to recognize several individuals. Joining me in making these presentations will be Superintendent Dr. Nathan McCann and Assistant Principal Alan Andringa.
As parents, all that we really want for our children is for them to be happy, to pursue a career path in which they find fulfillment, and to give back to their community. A career in public service is a noble endeavor, and it should be celebrated. There's perhaps no more honorable and noble public service than a career in the United States military. Our military is the finest in the history of the world, and I believe it remains that way because it's in a military that is entirely composed of volunteers. I love our military, and we love our military because they choose a life of service and sacrifice in the name of freedom. Today, it's my distinct privilege to recognize more students from Ridgefield High School, 10 this year, that are joining our armed services. When I call your name, please stand and stay standing until all names can be called so we can give you a loud round of applause. First, Logan Benavides, joining the United States Marine Corps. Joseph Campbell, United States Army. Jacob Figueres, United States Army. Jordan Manning Ruiz, United States Marine Corps. Kieran Kubrick, United States Coast Guard. Corey Morris, United States Air Force. Ryan Petrie, United States Army. Joshua Lyon, United States Army. Ashley Tibbetts, United States Army Reserve. Mason Basher, United States Marine Corps. Chase Walsh, United States Marine Corps. And Joshua Wilson, United States Marine Corps. Thank you very much.
year, the Ridgefield High School staff elects a male and a female senior who have shown dedication in the classroom and the community while presenting strong leadership skills. It's my pleasure to acknowledge two members of this class with an honorary award recognizing extraordinary citizenship that they have displayed over the course of their high school career at Ridgefield High School. Well, Timothy Radosevich and Sally Bishop-Smith, please come to the stage.
Our honor graduates make up the top 3% of the class of 2018. I would like to welcome to the stage our honor graduates: Sally Bishop-Smith, Natalie Dean, Hannah Farley, Adrian Nicholson, Haley Harris. Graduates have devoted countless hours to their studies at Ridgefield High School, and I am proud to present each of them with an honor graduate medallion to commemorate this accomplishment. To further honor Sally, Natalie, Hannah, and Adrian, as they have accomplished a very difficult feat, earning and maintaining a perfect 4.0 GPA average for their 4 years at RHS. I would like to present each with a commemorative pen with a special engraving for their accomplishment. Please join me in applause one more time for our honor graduates. At this time, our honor graduates will speak on behalf of the senior class.
Today is the day we will close another chapter in our lives. Graduating from high school and onto the great wide world is a huge accomplishment that we should all be extremely proud of. But before we close this chapter on our lives, I want to bring us back to the beginning of this journey, to those that influenced us so much that have allowed us to reach this point: family, school, and teachers. For many of us, families are our biggest and most important influences on our lives, being there to support us when life got tough, driving us to school, buying us food, and loving us. No matter how many times we fail, family always comes to lift us up again. Without our families, we could not be the people we are today. Starting kindergarten was a shock, as many of you may remember. Being without your parents for the first time was definitely frightening. But we got over it. We needed to because there was another 12 years of this stuff. The majority of kindergarten, as I recall, was spent painting or learning specific letters. Whenever asked what I wanted to be when I grew up, my general response would be fairy or mermaid, completely reasonable. The idea of having a career was so far off, so unimaginable to our young minds. All we had was our imagination and what we liked. Progressing through elementary school gave us more English, more math, more education, and more friends. Middle school gave us drama, new classmates, and rivalries. We all know Southbridge is better. And we all know throughout school that the people that put their time and effort to get us to high school are dedicated and supportive teachers. Without teachers, there would be no learning and no succeeding. We would not be here if it weren't for the teachers who want us to reach this point. They spend hours grading, preparing lesson plans, and assigning dreaded homework because getting us to the next level is their primary goal. But we have all struggled in one area or another in school. But by the time we all reached the end of 8th grade, we were ready to begin our freshman year with new teachers and hope of new friendships. Ridgefield has grown so much in every way since we began. New schools, new houses, new landscapes, and so many new people. But one thing I'll always be sure of is that the community of Ridgefield that they have provided will always be there no matter how many things change. Thank you.
We had now lived our lives up until this monumental point, freshman year. Wasn't that a year for new experiences? Do you remember your first day walking down the halls of high school, wherever you may have started out your high school experience? Looking up at the big underclassmen, wondering how on earth you were going to survive this place, what to wear, asking, is my outfit okay? How does my hair look? But I think we were really asking ourselves was what high school was really going to be like. Was it going to be like in the movies or more like middle school, which I think we were all hoping it would be nothing like middle school. It seemed like this big scary place where we didn't know where we were going to fit in. Whether or not our old high school or our old middle school friends were going to stick around, or if we would make new friends along the way. As the days went on, though, we began to figure out that this place wasn't as scary as we had thought. We found where we were comfortable, whether that be a sports team, a club, or even our everyday classmates. Many of us, dare I say, even made friends with some of those upperclassmen, and maybe even more than one. We even thought we would never survive the hard classes of high school, but it turned out it wasn't too bad, and the longest class debate we would ever have would be whether that dress is black and blue or white and gold. But just as we started getting used to the everyday life of Ridgefield, we were also being introduced to the unique culture at Ridgefield High School. This included the great end of the week Friday night lights with friends with what seemed like the entire community of Ridgefield, the way overhyped pep assemblies that always managed to make us laugh, and even the occasional whiff of good old Ridgefield's cow manure during passing period. But hey, these aspects of Ridgefield started making this unknown place slowly feel like home, even when we didn't realize it. I will say my first impression of Ridgefield didn't exactly meet my expectations set by High School Musical, but it was a wild ride we will never forget. Thank you.
We all made it to our sophomore year. Our first day wasn't as shocking and new as freshman year, but we were all still pretty bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. The thing to look forward most about sophomore year was mainly the fact that we finally weren't freshmen anymore. What we all didn't realize is that we may have become something worse. Sophomore means wise fool, and I find that to be pretty fitting for how many of us acted as sophomores. We weren't quite upperclassmen, we weren't brand new, and we weren't about to leave. We were the middle child of all the classes. By sophomore year, we all hopefully knew our way around campus, and we began figuring out our passions and interests. Many people had figured out after-school activities they really enjoyed, whether it was theater, art club, speech and debate, sports, or going home and binging Netflix. By finding our interests, many of us also began to find our good friends. Freshman year, I remember there was an assembly where seniors gave advice to us freshmen. 4 quarters is better than 100 pennies. The same is true for friends. I feel like by sophomore year, many of us had begun to find our quarters. Although everything is new and exciting freshman year, I would make the argument that sophomore year is the year of true discovery. Discovering who you want to try to be, what kind of student you want to be, what you want to do with your free time, who you want to be associated with, and most importantly, what to binge watch next. Thank you.
Then junior year came around, and we were finally upperclassmen. But at first, junior year was all about survival. Many of us had gotten our driver's licenses at this point, and now had to learn to navigate the world's most dangerous parking lot, the Ridgefield High School student parking lot. I applaud everyone who made it out of there each day without a scratch or softball-shaped dent. And not only is our parking lot dangerous on a normal day, but this is the year of the Snowmageddon, adding sheets of ice and piles of snow to the craziness. It was so exciting to sleep in on all those snow days until June came around and we had to make half the lap. And then there were the clowns. This was the year Krusty and Bozo turned against us, and Pennywise began to come out of hiding as clown sightings were being reported all over the place. It must have been our tough and intimidating potato mascot that scared them away from the school. Or maybe it was that the police came. But as soon as we got past that hurdle, another one suddenly became very apparent, the SATs. The test you'd been hearing about your whole life, from movie characters to your family, the test your teachers had been telling you about was finally here. And all this big build-up led to was getting up early one weekend and answering boring questions for 3 hours. If sophomore year taught us more about ourselves, junior year taught us perseverance. We survived the SAT, EOC, SBAC, ACT, AP testing, and even the DMV. We made it through our 10-page junior paper and speech, and all while beginning the search for the right trade school, college, or job. We could handle whatever life threw at us. As the year came to an end, a change began to come around. We went to the prom. The seniors graduated. It was our turn to be on top.
And finally, we stepped into our last stage of high school, senior year, best year. This was the year where we finally were top of the school, and we finally got to wear our togas. Senior year was a long time in coming, and it all passed so quickly. Since now, well, we're at the tail end of what's taken over 12 years to accomplish. Before we start talking about senior year, though, let me ask you all a question. What are your plans for this fall? That sound familiar? We all heard that question a lot this year. Everyone wanted to know our big, elaborate, Bill Gates scale plans for the second we exit these doors. On this same theme, high school and beyond was a major part of our senior experience, as well as all the chaos that came with it. Once we got beyond the high school and beyond plan, though, we were able to take a step back and be proud of what we'd accomplished. Now, stressing about future plans is a thing of the past. We've got it all figured out and can take it easy thanks to all of our hard work and tenacity. This year, you've seen your most difficult, most trying days. But you stayed strong and worked hard and made it through every dull moment, every up and down, and ended up here. So hey, congrats. This is our biggest, best graduation yet. You know when you graduated elementary school, when you were so excited to be a big, grown-up 7th grader? That was just a warm-up for this. We're adults now, ready to take on the world. Of course, what we've done, where we've been with our high school experience, has been vital to us along the way. In our time here at RHS, we've learned lots of important facts. We've learned that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But But we've also learned things we can use in our day-to-day lives, like cooking or welding or writing a resume. We've been built by our time here, and the school has had its share of construction too. There was construction here our freshman year, and there seems to be even more our senior year. We've seen all that change out on Hillhurst and experienced the absolute zoo of getting through it. There's nothing ella fun about sitting in traffic for 5 or 10 minutes a day. When we come back sometime in the distant future, this place will probably be completely different than back in our day. So, as we close this chapter, we prepare to open a new one. This new chapter will release us into a world with so much to do, so much to see, and we're not going to miss out on any of it. We've come so far these last years, from hardly wanting to leave home to preparing to strike out on our own, and this next year we'll move into uncharted territory as we continue to grow on our own individual paths. We wouldn't be here without all the parents, teachers, and community members that supported us. So thank you. This is our last hurrah for high school. So with all that reflection out of the way, let's celebrate.
Thank you, ladies, for your inspiring and humorous words. The RHS Jazz Choir will now perform a special musical number, Don't Stop Me Now, under the direction of Robert Meek.
Tonight, gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive, and the world is turning inside out. Yeah, I'm floating around in ecstasy, so don't stop me now. Don't stop.
Wow, jazz choir, that sounded awesome. And I know it's bittersweet for the seniors. Great job for your last performance. Each year, the senior class selects a person to deliver the commencement address. This year, the class of 2018 has invited our very own Miss Kathy Falk to speak. Miss Falk is finishing her 24th year at Ridgefield High School. That's no small thing. She grew up in Washington, D.C. and Michigan. She earned a bachelor's degree from Michigan State University, then worked as, got some Michigan State fans in the house. Then she worked as an editor, writer, and a movie reviewer before becoming a teacher. Miss Falk knew she wanted to make a difference in the world, which led her to change careers, pursue her teaching certification at Eastern Michigan University, and become a teacher. Later, she went on to earn her master's in English from Portland State University. When she is not in her classroom, Miss Falk loves cooking with her boyfriend, who is a master chef, riding her bike, practicing yoga, hiking, as well as writing film scripts. Anyone who has had Miss Falk as a teacher knows that she does an incredible job of creating a family-like feel in her classroom. It is not surprising to me that she would be selected to be the commencement speaker. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome Miss Kathy Falk to address the class of 2018.
Hello. Okay, Kevin Sanchez told me that I get to talk for an hour, but I'm only going to go for 45 minutes. That's a joke. When you're asked to be the graduation speaker, one of the first thoughts to float through your mind is, what advice should I give? Trust me, just because you're an adult doesn't mean you have all the answers, or that you even know the questions. In preparation, I asked several friends what advice they would give their 18-year-old selves if they could. And well, the best laid plans, you know how that goes, right? None of the advice, while quite hilarious and intriguing, was particularly suited for a high school graduation. Thank you for laughing at that. Although I did learn quite a few fascinating and blackmail-worthy facts about my friend's high school career. So I decided to go with what I would have told my foolish 18-year-old self, and we'll get to that in a bit. I would so love it if I could just talk to you all about how the world will embrace you, throw parades for you, and that you don't need to worry about anything except how many rainbows to feed your unicorn. But unfortunately, you don't need me to tell you it's a very scary world out there, and it's getting scarier by the day. We try to help prepare you for the real world while you're in high school, but sometimes that's a bit hard and a bit artificial. We may coddle a bit. For instance, tardies don't exist in the real world. It's called being late for work, and it's not a good thing. Unexcused absences do not exist in the real world. If you're gone from your job for a week with no contact, and you come back and ask your boss that classic question that teachers love, Did you guys do anything while I was gone? The answer might be yes, we gave your job to somebody else. What will you guys remember about high school? Unfortunately, for those of us on the teaching side of things, you really won't remember the minute details of the curriculum from your classes. You will, however, remember the social aspects of the place. From the moment you enter the halls of RHS as an itty-bitty freshman, or in some cases, not so itty-bitty sophomores, juniors, or seniors, you start building and collecting new memories. And now, here you are. If you think it went by quickly, just imagine how your parents and guardians are feeling right now. They're seeing kindergartners in these robes. One of the most common yearbook signings from the beginning of time usually goes something like, never change, stay just the way you are. Well, I'm here to tell you that actually you do not want to stay just the way you are. And thank you for laughing at that. If you don't embrace or experience change, you're not going to have a very fulfilling life. You've all got way too much potential to stop growing at 17 or 18. Everyone I had asked about giving advice to their 18-year-old selves would shudder in horror if they had actually followed their yearbook advice to stay just the way they were, including me. Life is full of change. In the coming years, you will sometimes feel lost or scared or alone, and that's perfectly normal, and ironically, a shared experience. It may not appear so, but everyone is confused or scared or lonely at times. And you'll gain so much strength and confidence by just admitting to yourself, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's rather amazing, actually. And keep in mind that milestones in life are exciting. First day of kindergarten, first day of high school, first date, first part-time job, first full-time job, first marriage, second marriage, third marriage, fourth marriage. Fingers crossed for you guys, right? But as I just mentioned, milestones can also be really nerve-wracking, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that as a survival skill, we tend to create families wherever we go. And then I think we're scared to leave those families. Many, many of you are very lucky to be a part of loving families. Some of you have had it tougher than others. But you know what? You all also made your own families. Your friends, your significant others, your workmates, theater kids, your fellow actors, athletes, your teammates, your workmates, your friends' families. You've made them into your families. And one family you need to know that you will always be a part of is your Sputter family. Could I hear some applause for the Sputter family? Our awesome principal, Kristen Palmer, had what she called, yeah, exactly. She did what she called the 5 questions for her staff at the beginning of the school year to get to know us better. The answer she kept getting, she told me 9 times out of 10 to the question, what do you love most about working at Ridgefield High School, was the answer, we're a family here. And we really are. Like your real family, your Sputter family helped mold you. For better or worse, you've been molded. You might have heard teachers comment from time to time that certain classes usually have specific traits or characteristics. It's very hard, if not impossible, to give this senior class a defining trait because it's truly a class full of individual personalities. I'm looking at you all right now. But 2 stories in particular helped me to pinpoint a couple of attributes that I wanted to point out. One day early this year, Pastor Meredith from the United Methodist Church, just right down the road, asked to sit in on a class for help with a sermon that she was going to be preparing. So I switched up the format for the day, and instead of chatting about the literature that we were reading at the moment, the class discussed exactly what she wanted to know about, what it's like being a teenager in today's society. She was incredibly impressed with 2 things specifically. the diversity of opinions shared, and the openness and respect people had regarding all those different ideas and opinions. That class, my English 12 class, where are you guys? We're already becoming a family. They were getting comfortable speaking their minds while respecting all those other minds that might not think like them. A little later this year, second semester to be exact, I got a new student in that same English 12 class. That would be Philip Grave, who came to us from Michigan. Where are you, Philip? Yes! The only thing with Philip is he seems to think U of M is better than Michigan State. I don't understand. But a new senior, last semester of high school, not an easy situation to walk into. Talk about a challenge. Then I found out that Philip chose to come here for his last semester. So I asked him why. And I learned that the administration had allowed him to shadow another senior, Mr. Ross Morris, for a day to get a feel for the school. He told me that he had realized immediately what a safe environment this was. People came up to him all day, shook his hand, introduced themselves, asked him questions about himself, and made him feel completely accepted, instantly. And he knew right then that this was going to be his home for his last semester of high school. When I heard that, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever been prouder of our Spuds. Your warmth and acceptance was what made a new student decide to join the Spudder family. So I like to think of these stories when I think of this class. So try to keep those traits a part of you as you journey through life. Your openness, your diversity, your respect for this diversity, your warmth, your curiosity, and your welcoming nature. Share these traits with all the new families you will be creating in the future. And speaking of the future, your lives are about to change, and change does not come easy. The author James Baldwin once wrote, "Most of us are about as eager to be changed as we were to be born, and we go through our changes in a similar state of shock. Change makes people nervous, but stagnation makes people dull. Change is also quite scary because it includes taking some sort of risk, usually, and risk, quite often, includes making mistakes. A lot of them. A whole lot of them. You might be saying to yourself, Ms. Falk, I already screw up. I've got that part down pat. I do it really, really well. Yes, I'm sure you do. But unfortunately, I'm also sure that screw-ups will continue and on a much larger scale. So what you need to do to not just survive, but thrive, is to learn how to handle these screw-ups, these mistakes, these rough times. That will determine your success in life, true success. And so, here it is. Here's the advice I would have given to my ridiculous 18-year-old self. Own your mistakes. Just admit when you screw up. Just admit it. Own it. Oh, the strength you will gain from just owning your mistakes. How much easier life is. The amount of respect you will receive from others, the amount of respect you will have for yourself. It's amazing. And here's the important sequel to that little bit of advice I would have given myself. Don't just own your mistakes, but learn from them. You'll quickly realize that people do not judge you for making a mistake if you learn from it, but they will judge you if you make the same mistake over and over and over and over again, showing that you learned absolutely nothing. That's not growth. A successful life is all about balance. You need to work, but you need to play. You need to take life seriously, but not too seriously. Do you really want to live a life without laughter? Speaking of laughter, while preparing for this speech, I flipped through my own high school yearbooks. Class of '82, anybody? Go class of '82? All right. I wanted to see if any of my teachers had offered me any sort of helpful life advice. Well, oh my God. After looking through them and reading the messages, I realized I must have been hell on wheels, and God bless my teachers' hearts for not beating me mercilessly daily. And keep in mind that this was back in the day when they actually could have. and gotten away with it. So the patience is an amazing thing. My biology teacher, Mr. Ives, wrote what I thought was some very simple yet very instructive advice. Don't be late, don't deviate, don't berate, don't hate. Well, 36 years later, I absolutely agree with all of that, and I also liked his little rhyme scheme, so I wanted to sort of continue on in that vein, in the same rhyme scheme, but with some do's instead of some don'ts for a little positive spin, okay? So, I would like to leave you with a list of do's before you walk across this stage, off the Ridgefield campus, and into the real world. So, this is what I think you should try to do if you want to live a rewarding, fulfilling, and fun life. Do the following: accommodate, advocate, collaborate, concentrate, contemplate, communicate, create, debate, educate, evaluate, initiate, integrate, investigate, mediate, meditate, motivate, navigate, negotiate, tolerate, and for the more immediate future, please feel free to graduate. And celebrate. Congratulations, class of 2018. Take your sputter selves out into this big old world and rock it. Make us proud, but better yet, make yourselves proud. Congratulations.
That's a tough act to follow. Thank you, Kathy. The students before you have reached a milestone in their educational career. Not the final destination, but rather a point in which we pause, reflect, and celebrate an accomplishment. Superintendent Dr. Nathan McCann and the School Board of Directors, I attest that the students who are about to be presented have not only met all the criteria for graduation as defined in the Washington state law, but also the more stringent requirements of the Ridgefield School District. We've got one who's ready, but not ready. Trying to sneak on here. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the Ridgefield School District, it is my pleasure to present to you the class of 2018 for their high school diplomas. Presenting that with Presenting the diplomas this evening is the Ridgefield School District Board of Directors.
Kevin Sanchez. Sally Catherine Bishop Smith. Natalie Marie Dean. Hannah Christine Farley. Adrian K. Nicholson. Haley Ann Harris. Taylor Ray Adderley. Noah R. Allison. Ashley K. Anderson. Matthew Philip Armstrong. William Edgar Avera. Judah Barton. John Wilson Bauer. Matthew Peter Belcher. Logan E. Benavides, Hayden Neal Bennett, Miles David Bethel, Diana I. Blaggy, Iris Elaine Blystone, Calvin Chandler Bowen, Zachary Ray Bowman, Emily A. M. Bradshaw, Katie Rose Butters, McKenna N. Kane, Joseph Donovan Campbell, Amber Marshall Carl, Alexis Catherine Cornell, Alexia Ann Casper, Tessa Liliana Castano Condon, Boston Alexander Clark, Trista Rochelle Clough, Nicholas Stephen Conrad, Hannah Marie Porter, Hannah Renee Coulter, Max Joseph Decker, Ariana Kristen Nicole Delaney, Leah Mae Dixon, Cindy Vanessa Dominguez Chacon, Emery K. Elliott, Raven Nicole Estes, Michael Vincent Fairhurst, Haley Nicole Figueres, Jacob Anthony Figueres, Jonathan Matthew Fleury, Tatum Lee French, Aurora Rose Gentile, Jose Manuel Gomez, Jaden Allen Gorder, Philip E. Gray, Austin Lee Hagan, Kayla M. Hanna, Helen M. Hartman, Emma E. Hochhalter, Tyler Lee Hoffman, Emma Serene Hogan, Molly Renee Holbrook. Olivia Maxine Joyce House, Jacob Michael Huddle, Haley Rebecca Hughes, Ernest E. Interior, Jordan Ronnie Javeri, Cole Jacob Johnson, Julia Regan Jones, Anna Kathleen Carnes, Chandler Carey Cast, Austin Anton Kaufman, Jared Quaid Kennan, Christy Priscilla Kettles, Samuel Roy Cothey Jr., Kobe Tyrone Kong, James Maxwell Kunietz, Andrew Peyton Lamb, Michael J. Slam, Haley F. Latham, Jason Amir Levine, Taylor N. Lawrence, Wyatt West Lehman, James A. Lee, Timothy Leeper, Tristan R. Lewis, Calvin Andrew Laurence, Nicolina Lopez Sanchez, Christopher A. Lund, Morella K. Lloyd, Jordan Dier Manning Ruiz, Callie D. Martin, Dylan Eric Martin, Jeremy Joseph Martin, Lillian Helene Mall, Nathan Daniel Mazzanti, Jacob McCarthy, Kennedy Ann McCaskill, Corbin Daniel McGill, Kieran Kelly McNeil Keeper, Trent G. Meisner, Riley Ann Melvin, TJ Boyd Merrill, Wyatt Jean Mercinger, Alexander Joseph Milligan, Mackenzie Ann Mollett, Corey Marcus Morris, Kelsey Ann Morris, Ross James Morris, Anthony D. Mueller, Kobe Ryan Clooney Nelson, Monica Joe Nickel, Summer Annette Nolan, Christian Thomas Jones Norquist, Michael Harold Knoll III, Emily Grace Ida Uflay, Carter B. Panko, Haley Shea Paul, Seth Allen Peterson, Ryan Davis Petrie, Will Matthew Pfeiffer, Jesse G. Pohina, Jordan Thomas Post, Emily Marie Price, Timothy Michael Radosevich, Johnny Rangel, Michael Jonathan Rapp, Luke R. Renner, Kaylin Elizabeth Revord, Randy Nicole Richards, Tucker Jonathan Roberts, Calvin K. Robinson, Cesar E. Rojas Rincon, Samantha Jewel Rutledge, Joshua Robert Ryan, Hallie Catherine Sackerson, Cameron Michael Selevsky, Madeline Ray Sheely, Robert Shane Shipman, Nathan G. Ships, Cameron J. Short, Evan Charles Silvis, Jonathan Michael Sidwright, Jessica A. Sterling, Holly Morgan Stolka, Amanda Rose Stay, Ravina Supra, Garrett Charles Swenson, Luke William Taylor, James Tong Mi, Ashley Day Tibbetts, Daniel Alexander Trevino Jr., Lana M. Trevino, Daniel James Tudor, Stephanie Valdivia, Mason Timothy Basher, Brittany Ann Von Bauer, Joseph R. Vossenpool, Chase Garrett Walsh, Logan Eric Wells, Rachel Elizabeth Grabowski, Mateo Alexander Wilkins, Aiden Rufino Williams, Joshua Dale Wilson,
Graduates, please stand. This is only a beginning for each of you. May your talents and character continue to shine. I hope that you will pursue your dreams with all your passion and drive. I recently heard Abby Wambach, do you know who Abby Wambach is? U.S. Women's National Soccer Team gold medal. Okay. She said something that I wanted to share with you that fits this moment right here, tonight, right now. As you leave here today and every day going forward, don't just ask yourself, what do I want to do? Ask yourself, who do I want to be? Because the most important thing I've learned is that what you do will never define you. Who you are always will. Class of 2018, we are proud of you. You did it. Please signify your official graduating status by moving your tassel to the left side. Congratulations! Parents, families, and guests, if you would please stay seated.